Following his departure from WWE, Roman Reigns has dropped a major hint about his future plans. The original tribal chief may not be ruling out a non-wrestling career after he finishes competing in ring, but he is now the greatest figure in the Stamford-based business. It would seem like Roman Reigns' active WWE superstar career is coming to an end at the age of 39. He is one of the greatest of all time and has accomplished all that can be done in the industry. The original tribal chief recently discussed his future ambitions outside of professional wrestling in an interview with Sports Illustrated. People would pay to listen to him on a podcast with WWE great Paul Heyman, he said. Take a look at his remarks down below. Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns have been good friends for quite some time. The Wiseman was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame earlier this year before of WrestleMania XL by the original tribal chief. In WWE annals, Heyman is among the all-time greats for his oratory skills. On the mic, Reigns has also become more of a scary presence over the last 4 years or so. The numbers will be over the roof for a podcast that Roman and Paul broadcast. Roman Reigns, WWE's unrivaled tribal chief, has repeatedly shown his ability to flourish when the spotlight is on. Reigns has no problem enthralling crowds, whether it's via his in-ring presence, promos that get fans hyped, or performances that win matches of the year. But once his stint in the squared circle is up, what will happen? With the help of another enormous WWE star, Reigns hinted at an unexpected and perhaps profitable endeavor after retirement in a recent Honest interview, a podcast. Fans are quite excited and curious about the notion, which Reigns hinted at when speaking with wrestling media. Is there a backstory behind this fascinating idea? On this new adventure, who might the tribal chief bring along? Let's go into the information we have so far. After over a decade at the top of WWE, Roman Reigns has cemented his position as one of the most captivating and successful performers in the company's history. But Reigns has been open about wanting to reduce his wrestling duties in the future, especially in recent years. "I won't be in the ring forever," Reigns said in an earlier interview. "What we do in the ring has an expiration date, and I've always been planning for the future." According to his most recent remarks, what's next may include a significant shift towards podcasting, a form of media that has seen meteoric growth in popularity in the last 10 years. "I've always loved telling stories and making deeper connections with people," Reigns said. "I can think of no better medium for it than podcasting. It's more in-depth than anything you could see on television, and it's unscripted and genuine." Reigns was coy about his plans, but he did hint to another WWE star with huge crossover appeal who may be his podcast companion. "Someone who has gone through it all with me. Someone the fans know and love, that's who," Reigns hinted. Whether the subject is wrestling, life, or the universe in general, this individual can hold their own in a discussion. Believe me, the moment you hear the name, you'll grasp the magnitude of this potential. Speculation among fans has run wild due to the enigmatic message. Might the co-host be Paul Heyman, a brilliant businessman and a long-standing supporter of Roman Reigns? Or how about megastar and cousin of Reigns, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson? His magnetic personality would be perfect for an entertaining podcast. Fans have also suggested Seth Rollins, Reigns' ex-brother from S.H.I.E.L.D., John Cena, whose Hollywood career is similar to The Rock's, and Brock Lesnar, whose infrequent interviews may add an air of intrigue to the program. In his preview, Reigns gave listeners a taste of the podcast's content. The tribal chief has an idea for a program structure that deviates from the norm by including wrestling analysis with more general themes like family, culture, and personal development. This wouldn't be about wrestling alone, Reigns was careful to explain. Of course, we would discuss major matches, behind-the-scenes anecdotes, and the business in general. Still, I'd want to delve farther. My goal in life is to have meaningful discussions that provoke thought, provide motivation, and maybe even cause others to reevaluate their own worldview. The possibility of filming the podcast in a high-end studio, as he implied, may give it the air of a premium chat show, which would be an interesting visual element. "Quality is worth the price," Reigns said. "Fans will shell out serious cash to watch it if we pull it off properly. From the brutality of in-ring fighting to a more environmentally friendly kind of entertainment, podcasting is the ideal step for Reigns." Podcasting has been a boon to wrestling greats like Chris Jericho, Mick Foley, and Stone Cold Steve Austin, who use it to communicate with fans and reveal things that the public has never heard before. It would seem, however, that Reigns' ambition goes beyond the ordinary wrestling podcast. If he is successful in attracting a co-host of comparable renown, and in his ambitions to cover more diverse cultural subjects, the program may stand out in a competitive market. "Roman has always had a way of commanding attention," tweeted one of his fans. "Trust me, if he's putting his heart and soul into a podcast, it will dominate the wrestling media landscape." The wrestling community is going crazy about the possibility of a podcast from Roman Reigns, with fans ready to guess the show's structure, topics, and possible guests. Reddit user, "I could totally see Roman and The Rock doing this together. Loved the idea. Just talking about their family dynamic would be so interesting. They're both incredibly charismatic." Because of Reigns' expanding network in Hollywood and professional sports, some have speculated that non-wrestling personalities may show up as surprise guests. Can you picture Roman doing interviews with famous actors, musicians, or NFL players? Another admirer said, "It might go beyond wrestling if this takes off." An intriguing, but not without its difficulties, prospect is a podcast hosted by Reigns. Even a WWE superstar like Roman Reigns would have to find a way to make his podcast unique in order to stand out in the crowded wrestling podcast industry. Also, as WWE's biggest star, Reigns may not have much time to devote to starting a new business. But it could be the perfect moment for him to see what else is out there, what with his alleged intentions to become a part-time wrestler. "Surrounding yourself with the right people is the key to success," Reigns said. "The greatest team will be assembled to ensure its success if I go ahead and do this." While information is limited, one thing is certain. Roman Reigns' podcast premiere will be an event not to be missed. If he and his possible co-host are as charismatic as he claims to be, they might revolutionize the wrestling podcast industry. "The whole thing isn't about speaking into a microphone," Reigns said. "The goal is to create something unique, something that viewers will anticipate each week. I want for this to be something people eagerly anticipate, whether it's dissecting major matches, sharing anecdotes, or delving into important subjects." A look into the tribal chief's future plans are revealed by his remarks on a podcast he did after retiring, which he made while continuing his historic career in WWE. "One of the secrets of Reigns' success has been his ability to think ahead of the curve. Wrestling has been a lifesaver for me," he said. "However, I am aware that there is more to my abilities and contribution. Whatever comes next, whether it in the ring, on a podcast, or some other platform, I'm looking forward to it." The idea of Roman Reigns going from being the most dominant figure in WWE to the most dominant figure in podcasting is exciting for fans. Fans would gladly follow the tribal chief wherever he goes, if his past performances are any indication of his future dominance.